This is the Secure Podcast, a podcast of
love,
family, and entrepreneurship.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day. I don't know what day you're watching us, what time of day, but my name is John Griffin Jr.,
I'm Denitra.
and we're the Griffins. We are here for the Secure Podcast, and today we have a great topic, a very great. When you say so, Doc?
I guess just the way the company has been set up with LLCs, sole proprietors, and partnership, whichever makes the most sense for you. So we'll spend a little time discussing that.
Absolutely. It's been a change of routine. So today, the quote of the day started with Dr. Griffin. What's your quote of the day?
I got you.
You got me? Go ahead. Come on. What's your quote of the day?
So the title of the podcast, if we're season 3, episode 5, building the foundation. And so I would think if I had to start with a quote, it would really be about everything you need is within you.
Ooh.
Everything you need is within you. So as you're on this professional journey,
Absolutely.
whether you're going into entrepreneurship, whether you're going into partnership, everything you need is within you. And I have to give credit to Oprah Winfrey, who is where I heard it first from.
Wonderful lady.
When you're trying to kind of figure things out, if you're a reflective practitioner, then just start with yourself, and what's within you will be demonstrated outward.
All right. How'd you get to that point?
How did I get to that point?
Yeah.
Through life and experience. So living,
Absolutely.
being married, and
What?
having children, and
husband.
of course having a business. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay, well, let's get out of business.
Okay.
So, again, in establishing a business, there are several ways you can do it. There's the C Corp, there's the S Corp, and there's the LLC. There's a sole proprietor. So we really want to dive in to just give an example of a couple and just go through what else best for your business. So, Doc, when we started AGB, initially it was a C Corp. Because
Yes.
when you actually file for your Secretary of State papers, it's a C Corp. You have
Yeah.
to declare
Yeah.
S Corp, or you can file LLC, which
Yeah.
means Limited Liability Corporation.
Yeah.
In your humble analysis, do you think that one is better than the other?
So I want to preference that statement because it's really contingent on the advice you receive from your accountant.
Right, right.
And I think you will really need to be able to weigh your options and decide on how big or how small you foresee your business going. And
Right,
so there
right,
are
right,
advantages and disadvantages to both,
All of them.
to all classifications.
Exactly.
And so it starts with, I think when we first started AGB, we did not anticipate the amount of growth we would achieve.
Praise God. Praise
And
God.
so, we'll spend a little time talking about if we could do things differently. But at the
Right.
moment, it was really about the current environment, which is why we declared
S
an
corp.
S Corp.
Right. S Corp.
And so, within the context of our lifestyle, with the context of our experience, and what we were trying to accomplish at that time, the S Corp was what was most beneficial for us.
Yeah, more advantageous. So with the S Corp G Tribe, what we're really talking about is when your profit or your loss transforms down to your regular 1040s. So if you are a for-profit organization, you're S Corp, and you have $1 in profit, well, that $1 in profit is not taxed at the corporate level, it's taxed at the individual level. So then that would become, or your losses would come to your regular 1040 or your regular,
Well, the 1040.
1040.
Yeah.
But there's also the easy form for people who
Right.
just starting out. Before they get to the 1040, they can do the easy form. So we're not tax attorneys. We're not saying that the S Corp is better. So I want to let you guys know this is our experiences. We're not recommending either one, but the S Corp works for us. And
And it worked for us better than
the C Corp.
Than the C Corp.
Right.
Because when
Yep.
we first began in many businesses, you can't anticipate you probably can anticipate some losses,
Correct.
possibly. And so the advantage to that is those losses trickles down to your personal taxes, and then that
can
means
declare those
that
losses.
You could declare those losses,
Absolutely.
and that reduces your taxable income.
And with a C corp, the losses or profit stays with the corporation. So you have to understand that a corporation is a life of its own. You learn a business law class. It is a person. Only thing it cannot do, it cannot vote. So you have to understand that. But corporations vote by giving money to politicians in that way. But in terms of being its own entity, so you gotta really distinguish which one you want. The LLC is kind of like a mixture of two.
Yeah.
Would you say?
I wouldn't want to kind of highlight one as being better than the other. I would really recommend, identifying within you what you're trying to accomplish or what you want the entity to do, and then decide which is the best affiliation or classification that makes the most sense. So as it relates to us, our LLC series or LLC.
We have both.
Yeah.
Yeah, series. Yeah, series is basically LLCs for property. You have a series. So if you own property, you put it in the LLC series, and that is just a protection for your for against litigious activity. So those series are very important. LLCs, limited liability corporation, it kind of protects you from liability.
Yeah.
So you put your home, you can put your cars, you put all your assets in LLCs. These are layers of protection, and they work well for us.
And you
Would
can put
agree?
your investments.
In your investments.
You can put
Yeah,
your
which is very good. Your
investments
investments.
into LLC.
We need to give a class on actually showing, like maybe on a smart board, actually showing what an LLC does and a C corp. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think I do. I think sometimes because you kind of hear LLCs or the term LLC just floating around aimlessly.
That's right.
But there is a lot of deliberate strategy that goes into identifying an LLC, and so I want to put this out there because I'll go on Instagram and kind of see, the people speaking with conviction about having multiple revenue
Yes,
streams.
speak on that. Speak on that, Doc. Go ahead.
And multiple LLCs.
Speak on it, Doc.
So what we've learned is you really can only do one business well.
That's correct. G-Try.
You can-
listen. One business well,
Yeah.
just one.
You can really only do one business well. And so we're not saying don't diversify your personal portfolio, but if you want to invest the time and grow your business, you only have the capacity to do that one well. Now, when you hear people talk about LLCs, that's where this other part of strategically planning comes in. So you have your investment portfolio in an LLC. That investment portfolio is making money for you.
That's
so
great.
that's a multiple stream of income.
Go ahead,
You
Doc.
have your real estate
In an LLC.
in an LLC.
That's right.
That's multiple source of income, or
Correct.
and your rental property. So that's all that real estate is in an LLC.
Series.
So-
LLC series, possibly.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's not. I'm doing hair. I'm doing. I'm selling this. I got this business. Because you're not going to be able to do it well. So just think strategically and deliberate. Identify with your accountant and disseminate your vision on how you want that main business to be set up. And then if you want the multiple LLCs, that's for your investments, that's for your real estate, that's for your asset, that goes into your asset protection trust. But those are things that you need to kind of think about when you want to talk about multiple revenue sources.
You are so pretty. The way you say that, I like. She's smart. Consider the following. There's 3 types of income. There's earned income,
Yep.
portfolio income, and passive income.
Yep.
This is very germane to our conversation.
Yes.
Because depending on what you set up, LLC, a S corp, a C corp, or either a sole proprietorship, they have tax implications.
Yes.
The worst and the highest tax is to earn income.
Yes.
So we have jobs, right? We get
Yeah.
taxed at 25%, 30%, 35%. So you get taxed. And then there's portfolio income. That's when you own stocks and you get taxed on capital gains, around 13%, which is very, 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 very good. And then there is the passive income, which is the best, which is is really not taxed. And that's where you make your money, your passive income. So depending on how you set up your portfolio is very important. And one day soon, Doc and I would get on the board. We actually show you some strategies, G-Tribe, because we believe in creating black wealth. We believe in that, right, Doc?
Yeah. So you want to read some of these?
Yes. Let me get to it.
Point.
See, I usually don't sponsor. She's usually the one to keep me on point, but let's get to it. So it says here the old filing fee to establish an LLC was $500. But in 2017, the fees were lowered by 70%. That is to encourage businesses. Incidentally, black women have started more businesses in the United States than any other.
Yeah. Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, and that's really, it's our season. Let's just say that.
So right now, establishing LLC is now about $400.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. So you start your own business. I think you can start your business and do anything. All I want you to do is just try. Just get up and try, and don't be afraid to fail. Just keep going. What else we should read? About LLCs. It says LLCs is good to limit your own personal responsibility for debts.
Yeah.
So again, I mentioned, unfortunately, this is a very litigious society, so there may be lawsuits and there may be things may happen, and LLCs will give you a shield of protection, guys. I'm not a lawyer, so don't think that, but it's a layer of protection. What else, Doc?
So we need to talk about the certifications. And so you did talk about how African American women have the highest percentage of new
Yes.
businesses that's being
Yes.
opened. And so we want to just shed a little light about the benefits of having these special certifications.
Correct. So we talked, I think, about episode 2, we talked about the MBE, we talked about strategy, MBE, DBE, and WBE. So the DBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, is a federal program. You cannot make an aggregate of $16 million over 3 years. They average the cost. That's a very good program because it's federally. All 50 states recognize DBE program. So you may apply for it through the city of Chicago or another city, but it's a very good program. MBE is also a very good program. You cannot make more than, I think, $50 million, or they kick you out, or they call graduated. And then WBE, which is the women-owned business enterprise, which is also a good a good avenue to get your business where you are in a position to compete for those set-aside contracts. Now, G-Tribe, once again, getting these certs do not guarantee your contract.
No.
These certs only mean that you have been vetted by a government entity and you are who you say you are,
Yeah.
and you can qualify and compete for those set-asides. Smaller pool, which is a good strategy we used when we started AGB, right?
Yeah, and it has definitely worked in our favor, especially within this climate, based on the time that you listened or hear the podcast, you understand that there has been an overall shift in how the world viewed not necessarily just entrepreneurs, but minority entrepreneurs and even more so black entrepreneurs.
Yes,
And so
yes.
because of our existing climate, large corporations are looking particularly for well-established, well-oiled machines
Yes.
that operate as companies, who are able to have the certification as well as able to perform in an excellent way and be a good partner. So these certifications, again, do not guarantee contracts, but what it does do, it does put you in a select pool to be able to compete for those dollars.
I think that's very it's advantageous for you to exactly become
Yes.
certified. But
Yes.
just because you're not certified does not mean you're not going to be successful, people.
Right.
G-Try, I want you to know that. But in terms of a strategy, a business plan, I think that'd be very advantageous.
Yeah, something to consider. Yeah. So everything you need is within you.
Say it again.
Everything you need is within you.
Unpack that for me one more time.
Everything. He's giving me a hard time.
Unpack it.
Well, I don't want to. We've said it, and so it's. I don't want to drain your ears into listening to more. I think we've shed enough light just to really talk about thinking about the vision of how big or how small you want your business to grow, consulting your accountant on which classification works best for you as a
Yep.
tax strategy,
Yep.
and really taking advantage of those certifications that qualifies you to compete in a smaller pool. So when I say everything you need is within you, it really is. So just reflect on those things and get to work.
Great. In closing, by G-Drive, please subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us all on social media at the Secure Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.